Uganda's services industry has grown exponentially, and part of the factors is a great customer experience.
Indeed, and of course, services is one of the leading contributors to Uganda's GDP. But the sorry part of it is that many Ugandans have failed to master the dynamics and the vacuums of delivering good service. It is Money and Markets. Welcome to the show.
For some Ugandans, the greatest news that ever emerged from the COVID-19 experience is the early access to the NSSF funds.
Now, access is one thing, of course, when they talk about it, but being able to sit into that area of midterm access requirements and those that are meeting the requirements is another thing. And today we're going step by step on what you need to know before you get there.
So a member who has made contributions to the fund shall be allowed midterm access to his or her benefits accrued from the contributions. A member who is 45 years and above and has made contributions not saved with the funds. Let me teach you a little thing. In pensions, you earn your benefit. In pensions, you earn your benefit. You earn it by contributing. You don't earn it by just opening an account. That's why when you work for government and they're calculating your benefit at the end, defined by a salary formula, it looks at the number of years you have served. Because they do not make a contribution, serving is equivalent to, because you would have been working and then your employer makes contributions and therefore you earn or you qualify for that benefit. Which is why if you work for less than, I think that 15 years, I think that's the law, you will not have earned your benefit. Okay? So that's why 10 years contribution is such a big deal about it. So has made contributions under Section 7 for at least 10 years is eligible for midterm access for benefits of a sum not exceeding 20% of his or her accrued benefit. Then the second group is person with disabilities 40 years and above, made contributions of at least 10 years, so the contribution rule applies for both categories, is also eligible for their midterm access, and they will get up to 50%. So the other is 20%, and there it's 50%. And one of the things you will see is that because it says up to, that means that they can apply to for a bit that is less than 20% or less than 50%. But the main rule is the age, the second rule is the contribution. Who qualifies? We have the numbers for you. So you remember that the first time this whole matter came up, we looked at the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario was those who had saved for 10 years. So it meant that you could open your account, not pay in money, but then 10 years later, you could then claim your money. The number was 130,000, as we said. So when the statutory instrument was issued and it maintained the definition of contribution, the number fell to 41,174 members as of 1st March. That number, of course, will keep increasing, but that is the qualifying numbers. To be able to qualify, you will need your NSSF number given. We will need a passport photo given. We will need a valid bank account. Right? Banks are very itchy about their bank accounts, so make sure that it is valid and it's verifiable. Number 3, you'll need a phone number, and number 4, you'll need a national identity card. Why do we need all this? Because this is the only reason we can verify that it is you.
Uganda recently held an oil and gas conference, and a couple of issues emerged.
And of course, the critical issues for Ugandan business owner are: where is your position in the grand scheme of things for the oil and gas subsector? Let's look at that. As Ugandans struggle to keep heads above water in a tough economic environment, keen attention is being paid at sectors with a stronger potential to change fortunes. To many, it is the multi-billion-dollar oil and gas sector, more so after the long-awaited final investment decision. The Acheulean task, though, is how a typical Ugandan SME can tap into the sector. To experts, providing timely information is crucial.
Is it possible to supply these annual procurement plans to, say, UCMP for distribution, provide them on your websites?
This was one of the major issues that emerged during the recently concluded oil and gas conference. But another tough one, though, was to scale the financing space, which many a time is a challenge to Ugandan business operators.
We've set aside $6 billion to support transformation within the region, including the transformation that will come with Ugandan oil. Our single lending obliga is $450 million, so we can accommodate Tier 1 and all the others to their full requirement. We said $6 billion will not be sufficient, so we are backed by development banks, 16 of them, to ensure we have adequate funding flowing into the region.
An important area to pay attention again to by SMEs is working on meeting the requisite requirements to qualify as suppliers, but also for financing, given the usually large nature of oil-related business opportunities.
We are part of the projects that are being developed, so we are privy to the information. We have an idea of the opportunities that are going to happen, and for us it's very key to disseminate that information. Now, when you disseminate the information, you train the SMEs on the bidding processes, on standards, on all the different aspects that make you a winner of a bid, and also continuously look out for the potential opportunities within the subcontracting process. Then you have the entire ecosystem together with the banking.
As it is at the moment, several corporate players are positioning themselves to tap into opportunities presented by the oil and gas sector. But this, for many, such as banks and insurance companies, can only happen through facilitating other players, especially SMEs, to play in this area. Having more of these as Ugandan players is what some are counting on as a possible economic game changer to get the economy back on the desired growth trajectory.
We now take a very short break. Money and Markets continues. Don't go away.